Good morning, the honorable judges and other viewers. How are you today?
Fine.
Firstly, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Saidia Praya Faisan. I am the student of State Vocational High School 1, Kepanjen. Today, I would like to tell you a nice story. The title is Jakartaru and Nawang Wulan. Do you want to know the complete story, audience? Well, okay, listen this story nicely. Jakartaru was a handsome and diligent young man. He lived in a village near a lake. One day, when Jakartaru paced the lake, he heard some giggles and laugh of some girls who were bathing in the lake. He was curious, so he peeped through the bushes. Viewers, there were 7 beautiful girls in the lake. They are fairies from the heavenly kingdom of Kayangan. Jakartaru saw a scarf near the bushes. It belonged to one of the fairies. Jakartaru then took it and hid it. Quick! As she tumbled, Jakartaru stepped on a twig. "There is a bird!" said one of the fairies. "Let's get back! Hurry!" said one of the fairies. They pulled over and waved their scarf. Wait, where's my scarf? One of the fairies could not find his scarf. She was the youngest fairy called Nawang Wulan. They tried to search for it, but it was nowhere to be found. "We are sorry, Wulan. We have to go back to Kayangan. You'll have to find it by yourself. We will wait for you in Kayangan." The other fairies then flew to the sky and leaving Nawang Wulan behind. Nawang Wulan saw them leaving in tears. She was so sad. "Excuse me, are you okay?" said Jakartaru, startling Nawang Wulan. Nawang Wulan moved backward. "Where are you?" Nawang Wulan asked. "Oh, my name is Jakarta. I was passing by and I heard you crying, so I came to see what happened." Jakarta lied. Nawang Wulan then told him about her problem. "I cannot fly without my scarf," said Nawang Wulan. Jakarta then asked Nawang Wulan to come home with him. At first, Nawang Wulan refused the offer, but since she didn't have anywhere else to go, Nawang Wulan then decided to follow Jakarta. Nawang Wulan and Jakarta stayed in the village. A month passed, and they decided to get married. Nawang Wulan was willing to marry a human because she fell in love with Jakarta. After a year, they had a beautiful daughter. They named her Kumala Sari. They lived in happily. Jakartaru was also happy to live with Nawang Wulan and Kumala Sari, especially because he always got a lot of harvest since he married Nawang Wulan. He could not even keep all of his harvest in the barn because it was always full. It's so weird. Nawang Wulan cook every day, but why is my barn always full? Jakartaru mumbled to himself. He was so curious. One day, Jakartaru stayed at home. "I won't stay home today. I would like to play with Kumara-san," he said to his wife. "Well, I will go to the river to wash the clothes. Please keep an eye on Kumara-sari," said Nawang Wulan. I'm cooking rice now. Please don't open the pan cover before it's done," she said just before she left. After Nawang left, he carefully opened the pen cover. He found there only a single penny. How come? He wondered. Before lunch, Nawang came home. She hid into the kitchen to see the rice he had cooked. She found that the rice turned into only a few grains. Did you open the pen cover? She asked her husband. Oh, I'm sorry, Will. I was so curious, said Jagataro as he realized his fault. Ever since Nawang had lost her power, she could not cook rice with only a single penny. Their penny supply was slowly lessening. Their barn was almost empty. One day, Nawang went to the barn to get some pennies. When she took one of them, she found a scarf. What is this? This is my scarf, said Nawang startled. That night, Nawang asked her husband about the scarf. Jagataru's eyes widened. Did you find it? Said Jagataru. Jagataru looked down and asked for his forgiveness. Because I found my scarf, it's time for me to go back to where I belong, said Nawang. Jagataru tried to stop her, but Nawang had made up her mind. Please take good care of Kumalasari. If she wants to see me, take 7 grains of candle nut and put it into a basket. Shake it as you play the bamboo flute, and I will come to see her, said Nawang. Jagataru promised to take good care of their daughter, and he once again asked for forgiveness for all of his mistakes. I have forgiven you. You don't have to feel guilt. I was gonna take care, said Nawang as she fled to the bright, full moon. Viewers, what is the moral value can we get from this story? That is, we should be honest and keep the promise. That's all, and thank you.
Hello everyone! Can you imagine that this fish could turn into a beautiful woman like me? Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Aisyah. Today I'm gonna tell you a legend of Toba Lake. Once upon a time, there lived a farmer. His name was Toba. Toba lived alone in a small forest. One day, he wanted to catch some fish, so he went to a river and fished there. He was so surprised when he got a big fish. The fish was as big as a human being. He went to the home and put the fish in his kitchen. He planned to cook the fish. Sreng, sreng. Then, as he went to his bedroom, he was so shocked. There stood in his living room a very beautiful girl. For a moment, Toba was speechless. Who are you? Why are you suddenly in here, in my house? Pardon me if I surprise you, Mr. Toba, but you took me here. I was the fish, and now that I become a human being again, I would like to thank you, and I will be your servant to express my gratefulness. Toba immediately rushed in his kitchen, but the fish was nowhere to be seen. He saw some gold coins instead. Wow, whose coins are these? Oh, these coins are mine. As I change into human being, my skin changed into gold coins. Okay, you can live here and work for me. Since that day, the beautiful girl lived in Toba's house, and not long after, Toba fell in love with her and they got married. 'Cause for the first time in forever, the girl married with Toba. The girl married with Toba on one condition, that he will never tell anybody about her past. Time flies. Several months later, Toba's wife delivered to a baby boy. Toba named him Samosir. Unfortunately, Samosir was a lazy boy. When his father worked hard in the farm, he just slept and slept. When he was awake, he talked a lot and ate a lot. Toba was very disappointed. He hoped that one day Samosir would be a diligent boy. Day in and day out, but Samosir never changed. One day, his mother forced him to bring the food to his father at the farm. "Sam, wake up! Go bring this food to your father at the farm. Wake up, Sam!" "I don't want to go, Mom. I'm so lazy." "No excuses, Sam. Go bring this food to your father at the farm. He must be very hungry. Go now." Samosir went to the farm, but he didn't immediately go to the farm. He stopped somewhere in the street to eat the food. Yum, yum, yum. It was already late afternoon. Then, when he go to the farm, his father was so angry as he realized his son has eaten his food. He said sarcastically, "He was such stupid lazy boy. No wonder you are the son of the fish." "My mother is a fish? Is it really, father?" Samosir was deeply hurt. He went to the house and told his mother about all his father's words. Samosir's mom was shocked. She was also deeply hurt. "Oh, Toba, you break your promise. I can't live with you anymore. Now you have to face the consequences. Sam, go to the hill and find the tall tree and climb it." "Why, Mom? I'm scared. What's going to happen?" "Mom, don't go." "Just do it, Sam. Don't ask any question. Go now, go." Sunday suddenly turned into cloudy day, and not long after, the rain poured heavily and the thunder came. The rain poured heavily for several days, and the area was flooded and finally became a big lake called Toba Lake. In the middle of the lake, there was an island called Samosir Island. Meanwhile, Toba's wife disappeared. Until now, people in Sumatra believe that the lake was the whole body of Mr. Toba and the island was the whole body of Samosir. Okay guys, so the moral value we can take from this story is 1. We have to patient to all conditions. 2. If you have a promise, don't ever break it. Okay, that's all from me. I'm Siti Aisyah from Mansatu Kota Semarang. Thank you for listening my story. See you. Bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Divya Citra from Mandua, Jombang. I would like to tell you about my story. The title is Sendang Sani. What is Sendang Sani? Let's hear my story. Long time ago, Sunan Kalijaga wanted to visit Sunan Muria in Pati, Central Java. He asked his friend Ki Rangga to go with him. The servant also go. Then they began walking to Sunan Muria's house. Several hours later, Ki Rangga felt tired. Are we still far from Sunan Muria's house? Asked Ki Rangga to Sunan Kalijaga. Sunan Kalijaga answered, already at boarding school Kadipaten Pati. We will arrive at Sunan Muria's house shortly. Please be patient. Kiranga was embraced to be together with Sunan Kalijaga. Because Sunan Kalijaga didn't look tired, while Kiranga was very tired and thirsty. Finally, Sunan Kalijaga asked Kiranga to take rest under a big tree. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It was time for the Zuhur prayer, but there was water around to clean up our wudu. Kiranga was confused. Then he asked the Sunan Kalijaga, I don't see any water nearby. Where we will take wudu? Sunan Kalijaga only smiled and said, we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, you cut this big tree, Kiranga. It may bring water to us. But remember, everything happens because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't take long. You must inform me when the water comes out. I will be behind the hill, Kiranga. Kiranga promised Sunan Kalijaga to inform him when the water comes out. So, Sunan Kalijaga behind the hill, and Kiranga with the servants sat under the big tree. They quickly fell asleep. Suddenly, the water came out of the big tree. Kiranga and the servants become wet. They woke up. I'm very, very thirsty and tired. What is this? Water! Kiranga! The water comes out of the big tree, Kiranga! What? Water? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ya Allah! The water comes out of the big tree! Let's go play in the water! Yes, let's go! I want to try! I'm very, very thirsty! Yes, let's go! They were very happy to see the water come out of the big tree. They drank and played in the water. Behind the hill, Kiranga, Sunan Kalijaga, was so worried. He went to the big tree. He was surprised to see Kiranga and the servants playing in the water. Kiranga, you forgot my message to inform me when the water comes out. Instead, you're playing in the water like a turtle. Kiranga, Kiranga, said Sunan Kalijaga softly. A miracle happened. Kiranga and the servants turned it into turtles because they didn't keep their promise. Sunan Kalijaga said, I will call it Sendang Sani, and one day this place will be named Sani Village. It is now called Sendang Sani in Pati, Central Java. Sendang Sani in Pati, Central Java. Okay guys, from this story, we can understand that Sunan Kalijaga, who was a member of Wali Songo, is a gentle, wise, humble, and has a leadership spirit. What we can tell from this story is, we must be responsible what is given to us. We must be strong and patient in whatever conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, that story is Sendang Sani. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, be humble, and optimist. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. lakune tanggaya wara kalawan mekak bawa kandur angkara senajan setan gentayangan tansah gawe rebeda hingga pupusen zaman ametek ingsun nyirap geni wesa murka meperhardening panca saben ules sing mitra linambaran sekaulasan ingkang paring kamulyan sang yang jati pangeran jiwanggo kalbu samudra peputaning laku tumuju dateng Gusti dakang amur bodho madi manunggaling kawula Gusti kretek ati bekal dumadi mukti ingsun tanpa piranti.
Ghosts are my friend and jinn are my troops. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Sakita Trianti, the representative of State Vocational High School 1 Kepancan. In this nice occasion, I would like to tell you a nice story with the title The Legend of Nyi Roro Kidul. A long time ago, there was a beautiful princess like me. The princess' name was Dewi Kadita. Dewi Kadita was very beautiful, and because of beauty, she was called Dewi Srengenge, which means the fairy sun. Dewi Kadita was a daughter from Prabu Muniwangi. Although Prabu Muniwangi has a very beautiful princess, but he wasn't happy. Do you know why? Prabu Muniwangi wasn't happy because he didn't have a son to prepare the next king, and said,
I don't have a son to prepare this next king, so I will marry him.
Then Prabu Muniwangi married again with Dewi Mutiara, and because of the marriage, Dewi Mutiara was pregnant and gave a son for Prabu Muniwangi. Day by day, Dewi Mutiara was asked many requests, and one of them is to expel Dewi Kadita from the palace. And of course, Prabu Muniwangi disagreed with Dewi Mutiara's opinion and said, "No one can send my daughter away." Listening the answer from Prabu Muniwangi, Dewi Mutiara was angry and called it to the palace. "How will good you, my son, if you can curse my stepdaughter?" That was easy job for me. I will do it now, and you can see the result tomorrow.
Bang bang was rahino, bang was rahino, srengenge muncul, sonar sumamburan. Bang was rahino, bang was rahino. Srengenge muncul, sonar sumamburan.
Suddenly, Dewi Kadita's body was full of alcohol, and it smelled bad. The beautiful princess was so sad. Oh God, what happened with my body? What am I missing? Prabu Muniwangi was so sad. However, no one can curse her daughter's eyes. But he didn't want her daughter to be a rumor, so he sent her daughter away. The beautiful princess did not know where to
So she walked until 7 days and 7 nights until it came to the South Ocean. However, the South Ocean was so clean and clear. So she jumped into the water and swam. However, there was a miracle. The ocean water was covered her eyes. So she was more beautiful than before and also had the power to control the South Ocean. And people call Nyi Roro Kidul. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was my story. The moral value is we must be patient to face our problem. Thank you for your attention. If I have a mistake, I'm so sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable judges and all who participate in this competition. Okay, first thing first, let me introduce myself. I'm Nadira Zahwa, a 16 years old girl, and I'm from Madrasah Muallimin Muallimat Baru Ulum Tabras Jombang. In here, I want to tell you a story, an incredible story about Zootopia. Zootopia is a gleaming metropolis city. Animals of all different sizes and shapes live and work together in happily. This city divided into several districts, including Sahara Square, Thunder Town, Little Rhodesia, and Renfrew District, led by Mayor Leonhard Lidor, a very wise lion. One day, Judy Hobbs, a bunny rabbit in Bunny Burrow, was achieving her dream job. He was the first bunny ever to join Zoopatio Police Department as a rabbit officer, of course. But she's kind of being underestimated by all officers there, because officers in that Zootopia Police Department are lions, elephant, tiger, wolf, and other big sets of animals. So she being underestimated. At the time of division of duties, Chief Bogo assigns each officer a missing mammal cases. And when he came to Judy, he said, "Finally, our first bunny, Officer Hop. Parking duty, dismissed." That buffalo walked out the room. And Judy was like, "Parking duty? What? I want to solve a crime, not be a mermaid," she muttered. But still, she wanted to do a good job. Her sharp hearing alerted her to expired meters. She worth 100 of parking ticket before noon. And then she headed to nearby cafe of elephant-sized streets. There she met a fox named Nick, who dispersed for a jumbo pop. But he out of cash, so yeah, Judy offered to pay. But soon after that, Judy learned that Nick has tricked her. Nick melt the jumbo pop and create a small popsicle to result it for big profits. Gosh. And Judy was like, oh. At night, Judy went back disappointed. The day hadn't turned out like she'd planned. She really wanted to fight a crime. Tomorrow, finally, Judy got her chance. Miss Arton's husband, another, was missing, and Judy offered to take the case. Assistant Mayor Billeder was agreed. And Miss Arton was so grateful. Chief Bogo had no choice. She actually didn't agree for this. He said, "I will give you 48 hours. 2 days if you strike out. You fired." And Judy was like, "Oh, okay, deal." And Judy learned that Nick had seen the other recently, so Judy convinced him to help her by pulling her own trick, using a caravan to record him talking about his shady business. And reluctantly, Nick helped Judy gather clues all across Zootopia until they reach Rainforest District. The plan is questioning Mr. Manches, the last animal to have seen the otter. Nick and Judy have found the Mr. Manches. There's something wrong with him. He had gone savage. They're both confused, and they ran escape from that guy, from that Mr. Manches. And they work together, and they're becoming friends. And both of them want to solve this case and prove that they could do the important work. Judy also knew how to find their next lands by using security camera footage. Judy led Nick to a scary building in the edge of town. Inside, they meet all of the missing mammals, including Mr. Artisan. But they all gone savage. They all gone savage, like, why this animal gone savage anyway? They're really confused. Where did it come from? There's no animal become savage. And the two from Informer, like Judy and Nick, to go to a bonded subway station, a very old station, I guess. And Nick, Nick distract the guard, Judy slipped into the subway and found a secret laboratory. And you know what? Inside, Judy saw a sheep make a serum using a flower. And Judy knew that flower can cause someone to turn savage. And Judy and Nick grabbed the serum and run until they cornered by Assistant Mayor Bellwether. What is she doing here? And suddenly, she's the mastermind of all this. She created the serum because she knew if Predator becomes savage, Predator will be afraid of her. And Judy said, "So it's you. You pray make first to Predator, so you'll be the mayor, right?" And Bellwether replied, "Fears always work, and I will drive every Predator into the Zootopia to keep it that way." Bellwether replied, and then Bellwether shoots a dart filled by the serum into Nick, and Nick was sank all over the floor, and Judy and Nick start to shaking. Bellwether smiled. She expected Nick to become savage and Judy, but Nick didn't turn wild. Because why? Because both of them pulling their own greatest trick. They switched the serum with the blueberry juice, and so yeah, he didn't turn savage. How it can be? Bellwether was so confused. Judy and Nick smile at her. It's called hustle, sweetheart. Boom. He's very confused, like damned. And that Judy and Nick give the evidence to Chief Bogo, and Bellwether arrest. All animals become savage will soon be cured. And yeah, Nick and Judy have solved the case. They prove that they're more than just a dumb bunny and a sly fox. Everyone in Zootopia, especially Chief Bogo, was so proud. They were partner and best friend, ready to fight a crime in Zootopia. And the point of the story is, no matter how hard the problem you face, how tough it is, even it's impossible to solve, never be afraid to try and never give up on every attempt. Okay, that's it from me. The last essay. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and also good night, all the honorable judges. My name is Jagat Karani. I'm from Mandua, Jombang. Judges, do you know various exemplary of stories have been shown, and I will bring you a story that inspires many of Muslims in the world. What is that? Don't you go anywhere, because now I'm going to tell you in detail Rasulullah and Abraham's blessings. So let's start the story with one day the Prophet Muhammad went shopping. Armed with a two hands, he wanted to buy clothes and household utensils, but not yet arrived at the market. The Prophet found a woman was crying. The woman lost 2 dirhams of the money, and then the Prophet Muhammad spent 2 dirhams to replace her lost money. Now the Prophet's money is only 6 dirhams. The Prophet rushed to buy a robe, his favorite clothes. After buying a robe, an old and poor man shouted, "Whoever gives clothes, Allah will dress him later. Whoever gives clothes, Allah will dress him later." When Rasulullah examined the man, his clothes were shabby, no longer fit to ear. And then the apostle took off the robe he had just about to give to the old man. MashaAllah, he did not wear his new robe. So Rasulullah spent his 8 dirhams for nothing? Of course, no. Continuing the journey, Rasulullah met a woman who had given him 2 dirhams. The woman complained again about the problem to the Prophet. To the Prophet, the woman told about her fear of being punished by her employers for being late to come home. But with pleasure, the Prophet took the woman to the female employer's house. Arriving at the female employer's house, Assalamu alaikum. The first greetings, Rasulullah did not answer. Assalamu alaikum. The second greetings did not answer too. Assalamu alaikum. Waalaikumsalam ya Rasulullah. And then the third greetings answered by the resident. If this slave woman is wrong and need to be punished, let me accept the punishment, said the Prophet to the female employers. Hearing this word, the occupant of the house were amazed. They feel they have learned valuable lessons from the Prophet. This slave is free because of Allah. And the Prophet was happy to hear that. The Prophet was very grateful because these 8 dirhams that he gave in charity benefited thousands of dirhams, namely the price of the slave. I do not see 8 dirhams so much more blessing than these 8 dirhams. Allah has given blessings to those who were afraid, clothed the naked, and freed slaves, the Prophet said. So what is the moral value of the story? The moral value of the story is that grace and compassion in helping and helps others will bring you a progress and prosperity. So, judges, that's all my story. Thank you for your very kind attention. See you later and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm very tired. Oops. Sorry. I am Hua Mulan. I live with my father. He is a warlord. He loves me very much. Everything I want, he always gives. And I love him too. But he is getting older now. He often gets trouble with his body. It makes him cannot train in everywhere. Whereas every family has to send one of them to train in war. I am really want to join. I'm sure I can represent my father. Yes, I will say to my father. Hello everybody, in here I want to tell you about the story of Hua Mulan. Yes, Hua Mulan, the legend from China, the woman who fight and sacrifice her soul and her body to become knight in her kingdom. Hua Mulan's story is one of the stories that inspires women in the world. Moreover, Disney make a movie about the story of Hua Mulan. Yeah, she is Hua Mulan, a strong and persistent figure with pleasing spirit. The daughter from a warlord, and her father loved Hua Mulan very much. In fact, her father never allowed Hua Mulan to touch all war equipment or also just practice fighting. But Hua Mulan, with her brave soul and fighting spirit, she tried to practice fighting quietly, and here she's sure that she will join in war. No, Mulan, no. You may not do it. I will never give you permission, Mulan. No, it's no. You are my lovely daughter, Mulan. You are the only diamond that I have. You are my dream. I do not want something bad happen to you, Mulan. Just stay at home and be a good woman. Remember, Mulan, I will never allow you to go. Remember it. I know I'm a woman. I know that, and I realize that. But it's not the reason for I cannot join in war. It is my right. I want to dedicate my life for this kingdom. I want to keep and save this kingdom. I will not let other people try to destroy this kingdom. I'm sure I can. I must go, and I must practice well. But my father, he will never give his permission. I'm sorry, Father. It does not mean that I do not love you. I know it will hurt you. Oh my God! What must I do? Yes, I have an idea. Yeah! By dressing up like a man, my father will not recognize me. Then I can join in war, and I can keep this kingdom safely. And I promise, every people who try to destroy and disrupt this kingdom, I will drag out my sword and fight. Finally, Hua Mulan always joins in everywhere. And she always brings the happiness news that is winning. And until this day, Hua Mulan remembered as one of the Chinese women hero. Okay, everybody, that's all story of Hua Mulan. I am Mulan from Mantri Jombang, and see you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Novel Rafidhausen and I'm from SMA Denggoro Tumpang, and I would like to tell you about Malin Kundang. Once upon a time lived widow that has a little son with name Malin Kundang. Malin Kundang is good and diligent boy. He is always help his mother and his mother was love him very much. Malin is always go to encourage and help the sheep because he is a porter. Someday, a mister that has a sheep was so annoyed to Malin Kundang, and he is invited Malin Kundang to go with him so across the ocean and also leave a home. Malin Kundang ran to his mother and take permission with her. Mother, I want to go far away. Please always praying for me that I will success someday and I will go back to here again and back with the wealthy and I can make you happy, mother, said Malin Kundang to his mother. His mother said the sea was free. Malin Kundang go to across the ocean. His mother was waiting for him. And now his mother is old and sick. The news from the people said that the handsome man and his wife was in the ship and giving their money to the citizen. And after that, the mother ran and want to know. She was realized that the handsome man is her Malin Kundang. So she go to come close to Malin Kundang and she is giving Malin hug because mother missed him very much. Malin Kundang was not like he is hugged by a woman, and old woman is his mother that poor and look like bigger. His wife asked her husband, "How is that old woman?" I said that you didn't know have parents. You are all pain. You was lie with me. She said so angry. And Malin said, I didn't know who she is. She is only old woman and beggar. And I guess she is only more money from us. Go out from me. You make my expensive so dirty. Old woman, said Malin Kundang with push his mother. His mother is so sad and she prayed to God, and God was granting his prayer. His Malin Kundang sailed over the ocean with his wife, and the wife is so big and make the ship cracked. Finally, body of Malin Kundang changed into stone, and his wife changed into fish. So that is about Malin Kundang. Thank you for attention. I hope you get new information. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
What? A son of baby? Hey baby, don't cry. Don't cry. You will live with me and you will be great warrior under my control. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's watch and listen what my story about. The legend of Wiro Sableng Reborn. Well, a very, very long time ago, in a prosperous village lived a married couple named by Ranaulang and Suci. They lived peacefully without any problems. Day by day had been passed by them. They had a son named by Wiro Saksana. But in one night, the peace of village was disturbed by a group of robbers that was led by Maesa Birawa, and he came to the village with the troops. "Hey, all my troops, kill them and take what you want." He was feeling angry at the time. I don't know what this has happened. He doesn't care to everyone who stay in that village. Knowing about it, Ranaulang and Suci were hiding their son under of the bed. Maesa Birawa killed their parents and burned all sides of village before the village was flattened to the ground. A grandma walked of their house. It was someone who had the great power, named by Sito Gendeng. She heard a voice of crying baby inside house which had burned. Pew 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 pew. Suddenly, she came to the house and success to save the baby to the mountain. What? A son of baby? Hey, baby, don't cry. You will live with me and you will be great warrior under my control. Day by day had been passed. Wiro lived off with Sito Gendeng in Gede Mountain. He got extra training from there. Wiro was not knowing to get on from the mountain until he was 17 years old. Year by year had been passed by them. Wiro had a grown adult and all the big power from his teacher. Then, when Sito Gendeng had tough, it was quite right moment. She gave him Nagagani secret age and a nickname it was Wiro Sableng. Hey Wiro, I think you have been ready to carry out your duty as warrior. Now, kill your adventure and establish the truth. You are going to meet with a great power and full of enemy who has killed your parent. He is Maesa Birawa. Thank you in advance, my teacher. I will never forget my duty as warrior. After that, Wiro Sableng left Sito Gendeng alone and started his adventure to establish the truth. In the middle of his adventure, he met two warriors that were becoming Wiro Sableng friends, and they did adventure together. But in one day, when the sky will be dark, they meet with a princess who was coming and asking for help to Wiro and the friends. "Hey warrior, help me please. Maesa Birawa and the troops have dominated my father's kingdom." Do you know what's gonna be happen after that? When Wiro Sableng heard that name, he remembers Sito Gendeng's student to had that to steal Nagagani secret age, and they directly came to that kingdom to defeat Maesa Birawa. "Hey Maesa Birawa, stop it now, or I will send you to the hill." Are you fucking kidding me? Who are you? You will need 1,000 years to defeat me down. Hearing that sentence, Wiro Sableng was feeling angry, and a big battle, both of them could not be stopped. Pew, 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 pew. In the middle of battle, Wiro didn't have enough power to defeat Maesa Birawa. Maesa Birawa, Maesa Birawa. Wiro Sableng, I think you are so weak for me, boy. And go away quickly. You want to kill me? It will not be easy, my Sabirawa. I'm sorry to use this. Yeah! When Wiro Sableng rose from his defeat with Nagagani edge from his hand, and finally, Wiro Sableng was able to defeat Maesa Birawa. Then the story was the end. Well, we can take the moral value of this story. Count of every small step you reach. Someday, you will understand they weren't actually small. I'm Muhammad Putra Ali Hamdani, and as I say, catch you later.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Yupida Ramadhani from Man 2 Jombang. Today, I'm going to tell you the story about Sunan Bonang and Brahmana. Many years ago, there was a powerful man named Raden Magdum Ibrahim, or well known as Sunan Bonang. He was the son of a famous ulama in Java, namely Sunan Ampel. Sunan Bonang has been blessed with many privileges. There are many events that prove the privileges of Sunan Bonang as follows. One day, the fame of Sunan Bonang was heard by one of the powerful Brahmana from India. The Brahmana was so curious about Sunan Bonang. Who is Sunan Bonang? I couldn't believe that she's really powerful and smart. I have to prove it myself. He should not have replaced Hindu in Java with his religion. Send troops to Java now. The Brahmana wanted to go and fetch Sunan Bonang to prove and fight him. He did it because Sunan Bonang chose a new religion. The Brahmana didn't want Hindu in Java to be shaped by Islam. Then the Brahmana decided to sail from India to Java. He sailed with his student and brought some holy books as referring to Tibet Sunan Bonang. Arriving at Subang, the ship he was sailed was blown away and destroyed. All the staff of the Brahmana sank. Meanwhile, the Brahmana survived and was chained somewhere. When he woke up, he saw a man dressed in white and a stick approaching him. How are you? Sunan Bonang asked. I am fine, Brahmana said. I've never seen you before. Are you from another place? Asked Sunan Bonang again. Yes, I'm from India, said Brahmana. What's the matter that you came from India here? Sunan Bonang wanted to know. I want to meet someone named Sunan Bonang. I heard he's very clever and great. I wonder how great he is. Unfortunately, the books I brought to argue with him were lost when my ship sank, explained Brahmana. Then Sunan Bonang smiled hearing the Brahmana's answer. Sunan Bonang immediately pulled out the stick stuck in the ground. Suddenly, the water came out and emitted very fast from the hole where the stick was stuck. The Brahmana was surprised. All the Brahmana's books that had been lost in the ocean appeared and were carried away by the water. The book were still intact and undamaged. Even the book are said to have not been weighed by seawater. Are these your books? Sunan Bonang asked. The Brahmana who still couldn't believe what he had seen. The Brahmana checked all the book while feeling shocked. Yes, these are my books. How can you do it? Haven't this book been lost in a wave? How could this book not be damaged, not even read? Slowly but surely, the Brahmana realized that the man in front of him was a holy man, an extraordinary person. Brahmana asked Sunan Bonang, I am the one you're looking for. I'm so glad someone came here just to see me. I'm sorry I hurt you by coming here. The Brahmana surprised the word of Sunan Bonang. He immediately down on his knees in front of Sunan Bonang while saying, Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think you were that great. I'm sorry. I doubt your abilities. Stand up. Don't apologize to me, but apologize to Allah, who has created all this.
But how can you do this?
Allah has given me all this. God has saved you from the storm, not me. I only help you with Allah's permission. This happened because the power of Allah.
Then the Brahmana was upon hearing this and said, Could you introduce me to him? Make me your student. I will learn many things from you.
Then Sunan Bonang smiled, hearing the Brahmana said. Finally, the Brahmana and his student become Sunan Bonang student and confess Islam is true religion. Ladies and gentlemen, from the story, I've been told we can learn that we shouldn't judge the book from its cover. In addition, the clever or wise person doesn't need to tell how clever and wise he is. The knowledge will show itself by its own way. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It's been a long day without you, my son. And I tell you all about you when I see you again. We got a long way from where we began. And I tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh, my son, I miss you. I miss you, my son. Hi viewers, do you know the story that I want to tell you today? Well, I want to tell you about the story of Malik Bunda. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Karya Shiva Aurelia. I'm a student of Vocational High School 1 Kepanjen. Now, let me start the story. A long time ago, in West Sumatra, there were a son and his mother. They were very poor. The son named Malik Bunda. His mother loved him very much. One day, Malik decided to look for a job in overseas because he wanted to help her mother to get the money. And then, Malik confirmed an item to his mother. Mom, I have to go to overseas, Mom. I want to move there. I want to be rich. If I'm rich, we will be happy, Mom. Oh, sorry. If it's I cannot help you, Mommy. But one thing for you. If you successfully in overseas and become a rich man, don't forget me, Mommy. Do you promise, honey? Okay, Mom. Of course. I will never forget you. You are my mother. How can I forget you, Mom? I promise I will be big and make you happy. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. A week after that, finally, the ship that will bring Malin in overseas camp and brought Malin to the overseas. After long day, Malin arrived in the small village. Day by day and years by years, finally, Malin became a rich man. He had a lot of sheep and workers, more than 100 people. After that, Malin got married with a woman in the village. After marriage, Malin and his wife sailing with the very big and beautiful ship and accompanied by his workers. And in another place, Malin's mother heard that Malin became a rich man. So that's why she wished to wed her son to the harbor. Suddenly, Malin's ship came to the harbor. Malin's mother saw two people in the harbor. She was shocked that the two people in the harbor were Malin and his wife. Oh, Malin, finally you are back. I'm so happy now. I've been waiting for a long time, Malin. But what happened then? Malin pretended not to know his mother. Hey, woman, who are you? Why did you have a son? I don't have a mother like you. I don't have a beggar like you. Malin, why is you like that to your mother? You are my son. You didn't know your mother, Malin. You are my son, Malin. No, you are my mother. You're just a beggar. Can't tell myself. I don't want to see you here. His mother was really sad after listening that. And then she raised the God. She asked the God to punish him. Oh my God! If he my son, curse him to be stoned, my God. And finally, extreme storm and big wave came. Oh, Mom, please forgive me, Mom, forgive me. And finally, Malin became just teaser and became a stone. Well, viewers, that's our story about Malin Bunda. The moral point is we have to obey and respect to our parents. Because parents are the people who bring up us from childhood till adult. Thank you.